The whistle blew, and the world exploded into chaos. I lunged for the ball, my cleats tearing up the turf like it owed me something. But then I saw him, Jasper, standing there in the end zone, his eyes locked on mine like we were the only two souls in this godforsaken stadium. Before I could stop myself, I dropped the pigskin and pulled him into a kiss that tasted like sweat, victory, and the bitter edge of everything we'd hidden for so long. The crowd's roar twisted into a venomous hiss. Faggot! The word sliced through the air like a knife, and in the split second it took to register, rough hands clamped down on my shoulders. Teammates, coaches, strangers blurring into a mob. They dragged me backward across the 50-yard line, my jersey ripping at the seams, the field lights blurring into streaks of white-hot judgment as the chant rose. Get him out! Get him out! But as the gates slammed behind me, the cold chain link rattling like a death knell, I tasted blood on my lip and felt Jasper's absence like a phantom limb. In that raw, electric humiliation, something unbreakable ignited inside me. This wasn't the end of my game. It was the kickoff to the one that would shatter everything. I grew up in Elmwood, Ohio, a speck on the map where cornfields stretched like endless golden regrets and Friday nights meant football under those harsh floodlights that made every sin look like a spotlight confession. Elmwood High was the heartbeat of the town, and I was its golden boy. Quarterback Alex Harlan, senior year, scouts whispering about Division I dreams. My dad, a former linebackers coach who'd blown out his knee in '98, lived vicariously through every spiral I threw. Harlan men don't quit, he'd bark from the sidelines, his voice gravelly from years of yelling over engines at the auto plant. Mom baked apple pies for the booster club and pretended not to notice the bruises I came home with after practice. Life was scripted. Win the state championship, escape to Columbus or Ann Arbor, bury the part of me that dreamed of boys instead of girls. That part? It started whispering louder sophomore year, when Jasper Reeves transferred in from Cleveland. He was all sharp edges and quiet fire, tousled black hair that fell over eyes the color of storm clouds, a sketchbook always tucked under his arm like a shield. He wasn't on the team. Hell, he barely glanced at the field. Art kid, they called him, the one who painted murals in the hallway that made teachers clutch their pearls. Our worlds shouldn't have collided, but fate's a cruel quarterback. We shared third-period English, and Mrs. Whitaker paired us for a poetry project on hidden truths. Read this, he said one rainy afternoon in the library, sliding a dog-eared copy of Walt Whitman's Leaves of Grass across the table. His fingers brushed mine. Accidental electric, and I jerked back like I'd been burned. But those words, I sing the body electric, they burrowed into me. We met after school in the old boiler room behind the gym, away from prying eyes, trading verses and secrets. He'd sketch me in charcoal, my helmet off, sweat-damp hair curling at my temples, and I'd talk about the pressure of the pocket, how every snap felt like a confession. By junior year, those meetings turned into stolen moments. A hand on my knee under the bleachers during lunch, his breath warm against my neck in the shadows of the parking lot. We never named it. Too dangerous in a town where queer was a slur tossed like loose change. But God, it was everything. Jasper saw me, not the jersey number or the stats. You're more than their hero, Alex, he'd murmur, his voice like smoke curling from a hidden fire. Your poetry in motion. Summer before senior year, things heated up. We drove out to Lake Erie in my beat-up Ford pickup, the windows down, radio blasting Springsteen Thunder Road, because Jasper said it was our anthem, two kids chasing escape. We parked on a deserted stretch of shore, waves lapping like hesitant apologies, and for the first time we crossed that line. Not all the way. I'm not spinning tales of forbidden heat here, but enough. Lips crashing, bodies pressing close under the stars, his heartbeat syncing with mine like a perfect handoff. I love you, he whispered into my collarbone. And I believed it, because in Elmwood, love was the only rebellion worth the risk. Football camp kicked off in August, brutal under the relentless Ohio sun. Coach Ramsey, a bull of a man with a buzz cut and a temper forged in Vietnam, drilled us like we were soldiers in his personal war. This ain't a game for softies, he'd growl, his whistle a whip crack. My best friend, Tyler Knox, wide receiver, class clown, the brother I never had my back. We'd been tight since Pee Wee League, trading high fives and inside jokes about cheerleaders we both knew I wasn't chasing. He suspected, I think. There were those sideways glances when Jasper's name slipped out. But Tyler was loyal, or so I thought. "You got this, QB," he'd say, slapping my pads after a touchdown drill. "Elmwood's counting on you." The season opener loomed like a storm cloud. Rival game against Riverton, the team that had crushed our dreams 2 years running. Practices ramped up, and Jasper became my secret fuel. Late-night texts disguised as homework help, a wildflower tucked into my locker with a note. "Throw like you mean it." I was peeking, arm cannon hot, reading defenses like open books. The town buzzed, banners strung across Main Street, the diner slinging Harlan burgers in my honor. Dad swelled like he'd scored the winning touchdown himself. Then, 2 weeks out, it cracked. Tyler cornered me in the locker room after film study, the fluorescent buzz overhead like angry hornets. "What's with you and that freak artist?" His voice was low, but laced with something ugly. "Jealousy? Fear? Saw you two by the lake last weekend. Snuck off like thieves." My stomach dropped. "It's not what you think, Ty." Lie, of course it was. Sweat trickled down my spine. "Not from the heat." He laughed, bitter and sharp. "Bullshit, Alex. You're our leader. What happens when the team finds out? Coach? Your old man." His eyes narrowed, that boyish grin twisted. "I got your back, man, but you gotta end it. For the team." I nodded, throat tight, because what choice did I have? That night I ghosted Jasper, ignored his calls, deleted the texts. He showed up at my window at midnight, rain-soaked and desperate, his sketchbook clutched like a lifeline. "What did I do?" he pleaded, voice breaking over the downpour. "Nothing," I choked out, not meeting his eyes. "It's the game, Jazz. State. Scouts. I can't." The words died, cowardice thick on my tongue. He stepped back, hurt carving lines into his face I'd never unsee. "You're choosing them over us. Over you." He hurled the sketchbook at my feet, pages fluttering like wounded birds, drawings of us, intertwined, free. "Fine, play your hero. But heroes die alone." He vanished into the night, and I slammed the window, chest heaving. Betrayal? Maybe it was mine first. But the ache settled deep, a bruise no ice pack could touch. Game night arrived like a fever dream. Riverton Stadium, packed to the rafters, 5,000 voices chanting ELMWO'd. The air thick with popcorn and diesel from the tailgates. I suited up in the away locker room, pads creaking like old bones, Tyler's slap on my back feeling like a warning shot. "Focus, QB. No distractions." Out on the field, the grass was alien under my cleats. Riverton's turf chewed and unforgiving. The coin toss, the national anthem with its hand-over-heart piety that felt like mockery. Jasper wasn't there. I scanned the bleachers anyway, a habit harder to break than any route. Kickoff. Our returner fumbled, and Riverton scored quick, 7-0. The crowd jeered, a wave of red and black venom. First quarter dragged, my throws erratic, pocket collapsing like my resolve. Tyler dropped 2 passes, glaring daggers from the sideline. Halftime. Down 14-3, Coach Ramsey's spittle flying in the huddle. "Harlan, where's your fire? You playing or daydreaming about fairy tales?" The words landed like punches. Fairy tales. I saw Jasper's face, heard his voice. "Your poetry." Something snapped. Second half, I emerged reborn. Faked a handoff, scrambled left, hit Tyler on a slant for 20. Touchdown. 14-10. The Elmwood faithful erupted, but it was hollow. Tyler's stiff arm high-five screamed resentment. We clawed back, tying it at 17 in the fourth. Riverton pushing for field goal range, clock ticking under 2 minutes. My chance, third and long, defense blitzing like wolves. I dropped back, felt the rush, then spotted him. Not on the field. In the stands, row 10, seat 5. Jasper, sketchbook open, drawing furiously. Our eyes met across the chaos, a lifeline in the storm. He mouthed it, "You." I launched the ball, 60 yards, rainbow arc into Tyler's hands. He sprinted, untouched, into the end zone. 24-17. victory formation, confetti dreams. But as the team mobbed me, Tyler's whisper cut through. This changes nothing, Alex. I told the guys. About you and him. The roar faded to white noise. Betrayal, cold and complete. They dragged me then, not off the field, but through the tunnel, questions flying like shrapnel. What the hell, Knox? Coach's bellow echoed. Dad's face in the crowd. Ashen. I bolted, jersey half unlaced, bursting into the parking lot, where Jasper waited by my truck. Rain starting to spit from the October sky. You came, I gasped, collapsing against him. Couldn't miss your poetry, he said, arms wrapping tight. But sirens wailed distant. Cops? Reporters? The town's underbelly stirring. We drove, windows fogged, hands clasped over the gearshift. Ty sold me out. I confessed, voice raw. To protect the team. Jasper's jaw tightened. Then we fight back. Your way. But Elmwood wasn't done with me. Next practice, the locker room turned graveyard. Whispers slithered. Captain Queer. Towels snapped too close. Shoves disguised as accidents. Coach pulled me aside. Son, this. Distraction. It's over. Bench until you get your head straight. Straight. The irony burned. Dad? He waited at home, beer in hand, Mom hovering like a ghost. Is it true? His voice cracked, not anger, fear. Football's your ticket out, Alex. Don't throw it for this. This is me, Dad. Tears hot, unbidden. The real game. He walked out, door slamming like a fumble. Mom's hug was all I had. Her whisper. Love wins, baby. Somehow, Jasper became my anchor. We holed up in his aunt's attic studio. Canvases everywhere. The air paint thick and forgiving. He'd sketch while I replayed game tape, strategizing not just plays but survival. What if I quit? I murmured one night, his head on my chest. Then they win. His fingers traced my ribs. You're changing the game, remember? For all of us, the kids hiding in the shadows. Word spread like wildfire through Elmwood's dry tinder. Petitions circulated. Keep Harlan, our QB, no matter what. Protests at school board meetings. Rainbow flags fluttering beside the stars and stripes. Riverton fans trolled online. Fairy football. But allies emerged. Ms. Whitaker, quoting Whitman in assembly. We contain multitudes. Tyler? He avoided me, guilt etching his face during chem lab. One afternoon, he cornered me by the vending machines. I did it for you, man. Thought it'd snap you out of it. Snapping me out almost killed me. I shot back. You betrayed us, Ty. All of us. He deflated, eyes wet. I'm sorry. God, Alex, I was scared. For the team. For you. Fear's the real enemy. I walked away, but the seed planted, redemption, maybe. Homecoming loomed. The rematch with Riverton. Under those same lights that had witnessed my unraveling. Coach reinstated me after boosters threatened to pull funding. Win or we're done. The town fractured. Half chanting my name, half crossing the street. Dad showed up at practice, silent in the stands. But there, progress, jagged-edged. Jasper and I stole a night at the lake, bonfire crackling, guitars strumming folk tunes from his phone. If we lose, I said, flames dancing in his eyes. At least I have this. We won't. He kissed my knuckles. Because it's not about the score anymore. Game day. Stadium electric. Air crisp with November bite. Banners read Alex's Army and Love Tackles Hate. Riverton arrived cocky. Their QB smirking like he'd already spiked the ball. Kickoff. We received my first snap clean handoff to Tyler, who caught my eye, nodded. Trust, fragile rebuild. First half. A grinder. They led 10-7, their defense sacking me twice, ribs screaming. Halftime huddle. Coach's voice steady. This field's bigger than any one of us. Play for the kid in the back row, scared to cheer. Third quarter. Lightning. I audibled on a broken play, rolled out, threaded a pass to Tyler, 50 yards, diving catch. He lateraled to our running back. Touchdown. 14-10. The roar shook the earth. But Riverton answered, marching downfield. Fourth quarter. 2:15 left. Us up 24-20. Their drive stalls at our 34th down, they go for it. Fake punt, their returner breaks free. I read it, blitz the gap, strip the ball. Fumble recovery, our ball. Clock at 1:02. 3 plays to seal it. First, screen to the slot, 10 yards. Second, draw up the gut, first down. Final, out of bounds. 0-3 left. Victory kneel. The cannon boomed. Confetti rained. Pink, blue, rainbow streaked. Team lifted me, Tyler's grin genuine this time. We did it, QB. In the end zone, Jasper vaulted the barrier, crashing into me amid the pylon. Our kiss brief, defiant, drowned in cheers, not jeers. Cameras flashed. The town exhaled. But the real climax? Press conference, coach's arm around me. Alex Harlan's our heart, and hearts don't come with labels. Dad, in the front row, stood, clapping, eyes proud. Later, over pie at the diner, he gripped my hand. I was wrong, son. Fight for your truths. Harlan men don't quit. Tyler sought me out post-game under the goalposts. I get it now. The fear. I'm exploring that myself. His voice trembled. Thanks for not giving up on me. We hugged. Brothers again. Flawed. Forging ahead. Elmwood changed that night. Murals bloomed on the stadium walls. Jasper's designs. Intertwined figures and jerseys. Captioned, different plays the same game. Scouts called Ohio State with a scholarship and a nod to my leadership under fire. Jasper got into Pratt, sketchbook bursting with our story. We drove west that summer, chasing sunsets across the plains, his hand in mine over the console. Betrayal's scar faded, replaced by something human. Grace in the grit. Love didn't conquer easy. It tackled, scrambled, fought for every yard. But in America's heartland, under endless skies, we scored the win that mattered. And the game, it goes on. Different, bolder hours. Looking back, that homecoming victory was less a triumph and more a truce. Fragile as the frost glazing the practice fields come winter. Elmwood buzzed with a tentative pride, like a town waking from a long, judgmental nap. Local news ran segments. Harlan's Hail Mary for acceptance. With B-roll of me and Jasper waving from the parade float, his arm slung casual around my shoulders. The diner swapped Harlan burgers for rainbow spirals. And Ms. Whitaker's English class dissected leaves of grass with a fervor that bordered on revival. But under the gloss, cracks spiderwebbed. Tyler, for all his post-game epiphany, withdrew into himself, skipping team weight sessions, holing up with video games and vague excuses about family stuff. I'd catch him staring in the halls, eyes haunted, like he'd glimpsed his own reflection in my scandal and didn't like the view. Talk to me, man. I'd press during lunch, but he'd shrug, force a grin. All good, QB. Just processing. Jasper noticed too, over cocoa in his aunt's kitchen, the steam curling like unspoken worries. He's scared, Alex. Coming out's like stripping naked in a blizzard. Freezing until you find your fire. His fingers intertwined with mine across the Formica table, thumbs stroking my knuckle. You did it for him, you know. Showed the path. I wanted to believe that. God, I did. But doubt gnawed, especially at night when the house creaked empty. Dad working doubles to make up for lost time. Mom's sighs echoing from the laundry room. My phone lit up with anonymous texts. Freak show over? Or scouts don't recruit pansies. Delete, block, repeat. The weight pressed, but Jasper was my counterbalance. Nights tangled in his twin bed, whispering futures. Art shows in New York, my jersey retired in some stadium, us building a life from the ashes. Winter break brought a deceptive calm. We escaped to Cleveland for a weekend. His old stomping grounds, gray slush and lake-effect wind whipping off the water. He showed me the alley where he'd first sketched seriously, walls tagged with faded graffiti. This is where I hid, he said, charcoal smudging his gloves as he drew me against the brick. Collar popped against the chill. Before you pulled me into the light. We wandered the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, hands brushing in crowds, stealing kisses by Springsteen's mic. That night, in a cheap motel with a neon vacancy, buzzing like a heartbeat, we talked betrayal's ghosts. Ty's not the villain, Jasper mused, head on my chest. the room's radiator hissing approval. He's us a year ago. Give him grace. Grace. The word stuck, humanistic mantra in a world of hard hits. Back in Elmwood, I invited Tyler to a pickup game at the park. Just us and a frozen pond for a goal. He showed, tentative, sticks clacking like nervous Morse code. Midway through, puck's forgotten. He cracked. My brother's home from college. Saw the news about you. Said it's a phase. But I keep dreaming about this guy from summer camp. His voice splintered, skates scraping ice. What if it's not? Pulled him into a hug, pads be damned. Then it's real, and we'll face it together. Spring training dawned muddy and merciless, the field a slurry of thaw and promise. Coach Ramsey ran us ragged. Suicide sprints until lungs burned, film breakdowns until eyes crossed. But the huddle felt different. Glances lingered, not with suspicion, but solidarity. A freshman lineman, quiet kid named Marco, slipped me a doodle post-practice. 2 quarterbacks, 1 rainbow-laced. For the wall, he mumbled, blushing. Jasper integrated 2 team artists now, designing t-shirts for the booster auction. Elmwood United, play bold. Sales soared, funds padding the budget. Even Dad chipped in, grumbling over dinner about fancy graphics. But his eyes softened when Jasper joined us, passing the mashed potatoes like family. Yet conflict brewed, subtle as storm clouds on the horizon. Riverton scheduled a charity scrimmage. Innocent on paper, but whispers said it was payback. Their boosters crowing about teaching tolerance the hard way. Coach waved it off. Friendly. Builds character. I didn't buy it. Nights, I'd pace my room. Playbook open but unread. Jasper's voice on speaker. Trust your gut, poet. It's never steered you wrong. The scrimmage hit mid-April under a sky bruised purple. Riverton squad arrived in buses, jerseys crisp, their QB, slick-haired bully named Derek, smirking through warm-ups. Heard you like boys now, Harlan. Hope it doesn't affect your aim. I ignored him, focusing on snaps, but tension crackled. First plays, even keel, handoff smooth. Then Derek blindsided Tyler on a route. Late hit, shoulder crunching into ribs. Tyler hit the turf hard, gasping. Refs whistled, but no flag. Clean, Derek crowed, jogging back. Our huddle seethed. He's targeting, Tyler wheezed. Ice pack blooming red. Pay it back. No, I snapped. We rise above. But they didn't listen. Next series, our D laid a crackback block, legal but vicious, on Riverton's tailback. Fists flew. Benches cleared in a scrum of flying elbows and curses. I waded in, pulling teammates off, yelling enough, but Derek lunged, fist glancing my jaw. Stay in your lane, Fairy. Blood trickled, metallic tang. Coaches separated us, game called, technical fouls all around. In the chaos, Jasper rushed the field, sketchbook abandoned, wrapping me in his jacket. You okay? Shaken but unbroken. Yeah, but this town's not done fighting. Fallout rippled. Suspensions. Me, Tyler, Derek. School board convened. Headlines screaming, brawl over bias? Protests swelled. LGBTQ plus allies from Columbus marching Main Street, counterpickets waving Bibles and traditional values signs. Dad testified at the hearing, voice steady. My boy's a fighter, on and off the field. Punish the hate, not the heart. They cleared us after a week, but scars lingered. Tyler's ribs taped, his trust fractured. I almost swung first, he confessed over burgers, voice low. Lost it, seeing you bleed. You're human, I said. We all are. Jasper pulled me aside that night, under the oak in his yard, stars pricking the velvet dark. This is the drama, Alex, the gay Ken of it all. But look, supporters pouring in. Your story's waking them. He was right. Emails flooded. Kids from other schools. You're brave. A scout from Michigan. Leadership like yours? Gold. Even Coach softened, pulling me for coffee. Proud of you, son, for holding the line. Summer scorched in, practices light, futures looming. Jasper and I planned a road trip, Route 66 echoes, from Ohio to Cali, chasing horizons. But betrayal's shadow loomed again, this time from within. Tyler texted frantic. Meet me. Emergency. The quarry pit, dusk-gilded water lapping shale. He paced, phone clutched like a grenade. I told my brother. About me. He flipped, called Dad. They're sending me to conversion camp. Some church thing in Indiana. My blood iced. No. Hell no. It's that or disownment. Tears tracked his dust-streaked face. I outed myself because of you. Thought it was easy. But it's war. I hugged him fierce. Then we fight. Together. We rallied. Jasper designed flyers. Stop the camps. Love isn't a sin. I spoke at a town hall, voice amplifying Tyler's plea. Football taught me teamwork. This town's my team. Don't bench our brother. Clash peaked at a massive rally. Hundreds strong. Flags waving, speeches thundering. Opponents jeered from the edges, but our voices drowned them. Ms. Whitaker reciting, I celebrate myself, Dad chanting alongside. Tyler stood center stage, trembling but tall. I'm gay, and I'm staying. The camp threat crumbled. Church backed down amid bad press. Family counseling instead. Tyler exhaled, reborn. You changed the game, Alex. For real. As leaves turned, so did we. Senior year opener. Sold out. Electric. My first throw. A bullet to Tyler, streaking untouched. Touchdown. Jasper in the stands, sketching the roar. The field felt sacred now, turf hallowed by struggle. But romance deepened the stakes. One crisp October eve, post-win bonfire. Jasper pulled me aside. Firelight gilding his face. I got the letter, Pratt. Full ride. Joy surged, then ache. New York. That's huge. For us. He knelt. No ring, just a sketched map. Our route, dotted with hearts. Come with? Defer football. Build this. Temptation Ward scout circling. Dad's dreams. Elmwood's grip. I need to think. He nodded, hurt flickering. Don't think too long, poet. Life's no huddle. That night, alone, conflict raged. Betray him? The team? Myself? Dawn broke with decision. A call to Michigan. Deferral possible? Affirmative. We left in June, truck loaded, Jasper shotgun. To changing games, he toasted, over diner coffee. But en route, in a nowhere motel off I-70, my phone buzzed. Dad, voice wrecked. Heart attack. Come home. Detour, hospital sterile, mom's vigil endless. He pulled through stents, stern warnings. Don't wait for me, son, he rasped, gripping my hand. Chase your poetry. Back on the road, lighter, we rolled west. Betrayals healed into stories. Tyler's emails from local college, out and proud. Coach's holiday card, proud forever. California welcomed. Beaches, canvases, tryouts for rec leagues where jerseys flew rainbow. Love bloomed unhurried. Sunsets scripted for us. Yet humanism's core were all plays in progress. Jasper's first exhibit? Me in the catalog, captioned the quarterback who threw his heart. The game evolved. I coached youth camps back east summers, teaching not just routes, but resilience. Different doesn't mean defeated. I'd say, kids nodding wide-eyed. Years on, Elmwood Stadium bears a plaque, Alex Harlan Field, where hearts collide. We visit, hands linked, ghosts laid to rest. In America's vast playbook, we rewrote the rules. One kiss, one stand, one unbreakable us. The salt air of Santa Monica clung to our skin like a promise kept. But even paradise couldn't fully erase the pull of roots. Jasper thrived in the city's pulse. Galleries scouting his Midwest Heartland series. Pieces of Elmwood transposed onto urban grit. Football fields morphing into protest marches. Lovers etched in stadium lights. I'd watch him work late into the fog-shrouded nights. Easels splashed with cerulean and crimson, murmuring, "This one's for Tyler's fight." Me? I scratched together coaching gigs at a community college, barking plays to wide-eyed freshmen who saw me as that viral QB from the scandal. It paid the rent on our cramped Venice bungalow. Waves crashing audible through thin walls, Jasper's laughter the soundtrack. But doubt crept in like high tide. lapping at my edges. Deferring Michigan had bought us time, but scouts faded. Whispers of distraction lingered in coaching circles. "You're more than football, Alex," Jasper'd say, pulling me from the laptop's glow. "You're the story." Stories, though, they demand conflict, and ours brewed slow, insidious as a defensive scheme unraveling. It started with emails from home. Tyler, thriving at community college, dating a theater kid named Riley. "You paved the way, man. Rally next month. Pride in the Heartland. Be there." Then Dad. Progress reports, cardiac rehab turning him philosophical. "Miss your arm, son, but prouder of your spine." I ached to go, roots calling like a siren's snap count. But Jasper's big break loomed. A solo show in Brooklyn, curators buzzing about queer Americana. "Go," he urged, packing my bag himself. "Elmwood's your halftime show. I'll hold the fort." Flight east, turbulence mirroring my gut. Landing in Cleveland, rental car humming familiar highways. Elmwood unfolded like a well-worn playbook. Corn whispering secrets. The stadium's silhouette a sentinel. Tyler met me at the diner, broader now, grin unscarred. Hero returns. Hugs exchanged. Riley in tow, freckled, effusive. Over fries, Tyler spilled. Rally's huge. Allies from 5 counties. Even coach is marching. Pride weekend dawned electric. Main Street barricaded. Floats bedecked in glitter and grit. I emceed, voice steady over the mic. We dragged ourselves out of the shadows. Now we dance in the light. Cheers thundered. Rainbow confetti swirling. Dad stood front row, arm around Mom, his nod the quietest victory. But post-rally glow faded fast. Tyler pulled me aside at the after-party. Bonfire crackling in the park. There's talk. Old Guard Booster Club holdouts. Petition to rename the field back. Harlan was a fluke. Rage flared, hot and immediate. After everything? Betrayal's a cycle, Alex. His eyes shadowed. Derek from Rivorton? He's coaching now. Stirring shit online. I crashed at Tyler's that night, sleep evading like a dropped pass. Dawn text from Jasper, shows a hit. Wish you here. Love. Heart twisted, mind split between coasts. Homebound flight. Resolve hardening. I'd fight the rename remotely if needed. But landing in LAX haze, reality blindsided. Jasper studio dark. A note on the fridge. Gallery dinner ran late. Ty? Unease prickled. He stumbled in at midnight, tipsy on Merlot and adrenaline. Eyes bright. Sold 3, including the quarterback piece. Kiss hello, but distracted. Phone buzzing insistent. Who? I asked, casual as a play-action fake. Investor. Big fish from back east. Evasive smile. Networking babe. Weeks blurred. His schedule a whirlwind, meetings, travel teases. I coach by day, evenings alone with takeout and tape, replaying our early days. Romance simmered, but suspicion cooled it. Late calls he'd mute, sketches half-finished of anonymous figures. Climax brewed in July heat. I surprised him at a Soho preview. Flew cross-country unannounced. Heart buoyed by Dad's latest. Field safe. Your plaque stays. Gallery sleek. Air humming with art speak. Jasper, dapper in linen, schmoozing a cluster. Silver-haired exec type, hand lingering on his elbow. Our eyes met across the room, shock, then warmth. Alex, he excused, pulling me close. What, how? Missed my poet. Kiss, public and unapologetic. But the exec hovered. Victor Lang, gallery patron, voice honeyed. Your muse graces us. The pieces sing of raw emotion. Flattery, but eyes appraised me, like competition scouted. Dinner followed. Victor's treat, conversation veering personal. Jasper speaks of Elmwood often. That kiss on the field, legendary. His laugh too smooth. Back in the cab, Jasper deflated against me. He's pushing a residency. Paris. 6 months. Elmwood's fighting for me, I said, gut churning. And you? A beat too long. It's exposure. For us. The word echoed hollow. Betrayal unveiled piecemeal. A forgotten email on his laptop. Victor. The weekend was transformative. Discretion appreciated. Attached hotel receipt, LA dates overlapping my coaching camp. Confrontation exploded that night. Bungalow windows open to ocean roar masking our shouts. It's nothing, he insisted, face ashen. Flirtation. For the art. He promised funding. Funding or fucking? Venom slipped. Unbidden. Hurt carved deep. Deeper than Tyler's whisper. Coach's bench. Tears tracked his cheeks. I was scared, Alex. Of stagnating. Of us becoming. Routine. Victor saw my fire. Stoked it. By betraying me? Voice cracked. After everything. The dragging. The rallies. The deferral? He crumpled, sketchbook tumbling. Pages spilling our history. Now tainted. I love you. But love needs fuel. I panicked. Panic. The great American excuse. We circled, words weapons. My absences, his ambitions. Dawn found us spent. On the porch swing, waves indifferent. Is this the end game? I whispered. No. His hand found mine, tentative. Redemption play. I end it. We rebuild. Victor ghosted after a curt call. Funding yanked, but freedom bought. Jasper dove into therapy, solo first, then couples. Unraveling threads of fear, codependence. I betrayed myself most. He confessed one session, voice raw. Chasing validation outside us. Humanism's grace. Forgiveness, not forgetfulness. We hiked Griffith trails. Breaths sinking on switchbacks. Talking futures unscripted. I reconnected with Michigan, coaching staff opening doors. Grad assistant spot, fall semester. Elmwood summoned again. Tyler's wedding to Riley, shotgun summer affair. We flew east, hands linked through turbulence. Ceremony under the stadium lights, poetic, full circle. Tyler's vows. You showed me courage, brother. In you I found mine. Reception danced late, dad two-stepping with mom, his health robust. Brought your better half. He toasted Jasper, no irony. Later, by the fire pits, Tyler pulled us close. Heard about the rough patch. You two? Unbreakable. Back west, romance reignited. Slow burns over canvas and clipboards. Jasper's next series. Betrayals and bridges. Raw strokes of fracture and mend. Sold out. Critics praising emotional authenticity. But conflict lingered, a shadow play. Fall tryouts. Michigan welcomed. But whispers persisted. The gay coach. I pushed harder, schemes innovative, players responding. One kid, closeted freshman, cornered me post-practice. Saw your story. Gives me hope. Hope. The ultimate score. Winter solstice. Jasper proposed under a Brooklyn tree, ring simple, silver band etched with a spiral. Throw your life with mine? Kneeling reciprocal, yes tumbling out. Engaged, en route to forever. Yet drama's not done. Spring brought Elmwood's crisis. Budget cuts threatening the youth program. Booster email. Need a Harlan miracle. I rallied. Virtual fundraiser. Jasper illustrating promo. Save the field. Dreams don't die. Donations poured. Program saved. Climax personal. Dad's call, voice quavering. Cancer. Early. Treatable. We flew home, hands clasped through scans and chemo. Hospital vigils. Jasper sketching Dad's fighter profile. Me reading Whitman aloud. We contain multitudes. Dad echoed, weak but wry. Including you, 2 pains in my ass. Remission came summer, party at the field barbecue, kids tossing spirals. Tyler toasted. To betrayals overcome. We stayed through July, love deepening in familiar soil. Return to Cali, wedding plans, small beachside, close kin. Betrayal's lesson. It forges, doesn't fell. In America's tapestry, threads tangle, but pull true, they weave stronger. Our game? Eternal halftime, cheers unending. Engagement's glow wrapped us like a championship banner. But life's no fairy tale fade out. It's overtime, sudden death lurking in the end zone. Wedding looms September. Venice Beach vows under a rented arch of wildflowers and driftwood. Guests a mosaic. Tyler and Riley flying in. Dad beaming sans chemo pallor. Mom fussing over boutonnieres. Jasper's aunt. The studio savior. toasting with tears. You boys turned pain to palette, but beneath the Pinterest perfection, undercurrents swirled. Victor resurfaced, email to Jasper, innocuous on surface. Congrats, if ever in Paris. Deleted, but screenshot sent to me, trusts fragile, rebuild tested. Old ghosts, Jasper dismissed, but sleep evaded us both. Sheets tangled in unspoken what-ifs. Coaching ramped at Michigan. Grad assistant grind, early mornings diagramming XS and OS, late nights mentoring. Players warmed. My story a locker room legend, fostering openness. Coach H, a linebacker quipped. You throw better advice than passes. Laughter, genuine. Jasper commuted coasts, adjunct teaching at Pratt, his Bridges series touring. Distance strained. Calls crackling with static, texts emoji patched. Miss your tackle, he'd type, but replies delayed by my film sessions. Conflict crested Columbus Day, Elmwood emergency. Tyler's frantic voice. School board flip. New superintendent, conservative hack. Pushing to scrub the plaque. Divisive. Rally tomorrow, need you. Heart seized. On my way. Cancelled classes. Red-eye flight. Jasper grounding me pre-board. Fight smart poet. We're team now. Elmwood airport pickup. Tyler, haggard. It's bad. Protests both sides. Derek's leading the charge. Protect our kids. Rally site. Town square. Autumn leaves skittering like nervous scouts. Supporters clustered. Rainbow tees. Harlan stays signs. Opponents loomed opposite. Bullhorns blaring scripture. I took the stage, mic hot in hand. This plaque isn't about me. It's about every kid dragged for being different. Erase it, you erase hope. Cheers clashed with boos. Derek surged forward, face twisted. You poisoned our field, Harlan. Time to fumigate. Fists clenched, but Tyler flanked me, Riley filming live. Back off, Tyler growled. Your hate's the real toxin. Scuffle erupted. Shoves. A sign snapped like kindling. Cops waded in, dispersing. I retreated to Dad's porch, adrenaline crashing. Why now? I muttered, bourbon burning. Dad. Rocking chair creaking. Fear's eternal, son. But so's love. Fight tomorrow, in court if need be. Jasper arrived dawn. Cab from airport. Enveloping me in salt-kissed arms. Heard the stream. You were poetry. Board meeting. Packed. Air thick as a fourth-quarter huddle. Superintendent droned. Unity demands neutrality. Derek testified. My boys play there. Don't need that. Agenda. Then us, me, voice steady. Agenda? Survival. Jasper presented slides, his murals, kids' testimonials. Tyler. It saved me. Dad. Cancer taught me. Life's too short for smallness. Vote teetered, 4-3 to keep. Elation erupted. Hugs amid tears. Derek stormed out, but a seed planted. His youngest son, wide-eyed in the back, clutching a rainbow doodle. Back in Ann Arbor, high on victory, we dove into wedding prep. But betrayal's echo haunted. A package arrived. Anonymous, Derek's return address. Inside, photos, grainy, me and Jasper, early days, lake embraces. Note, keep pushing and these go viral. Again. Rage, violation, raw. He's escalating. Jasper breathed, hand trembling on mine. Police report filed, but evidence thin. Nights, paranoia patrolled. Blinds drawn, calls traced. Romance chilled, intimacy tentative. Love's fire banked against fear. Climax detonated 2 weeks out. Wedding eve rehearsal. Beach sunset painting gold. Tyler calls. Derek's at the airport. Bound for LA. Threatened Riley. Tell your fairy friends to watch their backs. Ice in veins. Flight booked. Us chasing shadows cross-country. LAX arrival. Midnight. Nerves frayed. Stakeout at his hotel. Ridiculous. Us in rental Chevy, hearts pounding like bass drums. He emerged. Duffel slung. Hailing cab. We tailed amateur sleuths to Venice Boardwalk, our turf. Confrontation. Alley off Abbot Kinney. Sodium lamps casting long shadows. Lang. No, wait, Victor? No, Derek, sneering. Harlan. Persistent. Why? I demanded, Jasper tense beside. Hate that deep. Protecting legacy. Spittle flecked. You queers ruined my town. Words failed. Fists answered. Scuffle brief, Tyler's training in me, Derek crumpling to knees. Sirens wailed. We held, explaining to badges. Stalker, threats documented. Arrest. Assault charges, restraining order swift. But revelation in interrogation leak. Derek's son, the doodler closeted, begging dad to stop. He outed me to the team, kid confessed later, in tears at station. Said it'd toughen me. Humanism's gut punch, villainy born of pain. Derek bailed but crumbled, therapy mandated, family counseling. Letter arrived weeks later. Broke me to see his hurt. Thanks for not finishing the hit. Wedding dawned flawless. Waves lapping vows. I do sinking with gulls' cries. Rings exchanged, Jasper's eyes oceans. Reception. Bonfire toasts, Tyler's mic drop. To loves that tackle hate. Honeymoon. Big Sur Cliffs, drive silent with awe. We survived the blitz, Jasper murmured, head on shoulder. Return, life recalibrated. Michigan promotion. Assistant coach, recruits flocking to the inclusive program. Jasper's book deal, graphic memoir, Field of Hearts. But drama lingers. Tyler's relay. Elmwood pride expanding, Derek volunteering now, awkward ally. Change is contact sport, he grunts at events. Our first anniversary. Stadium picnic, Elmwood lights twinkling. Jasper sketches us, eternal. The game's ours. Betrayal, scar tissue, stronger seams. In America's arena, we play on fierce, flawed, forever teamed. Years folded like a well-executed option play. Seamless on surface, but every gain hard-won against defenders of doubt. By our third anniversary, Ann Arbor rooted us deep. Split time between Michigan's gridiron and Jasper's satellite studio in a converted barn. Canvases drying beside playbooks. I climbed ranks. Offensive coordinator by 32. Schemes blending Midwestern grit with coastal flair. Players nicknamed me Rainbow Route. Half joke, half reverence. The closet cases found office hours spilling secrets. Emerging bolder. Jasper's star ascended. Field of Hearts a bestseller. TED Talk views in millions. Art as fourth down prayer. Galleries clamored. But he stayed grounded. Mentoring queer youth artists via Zoom from Elmwood to Echo Park. Fame's a fumble if it doesn't field. He'd quip, paint-flecked nose wrinkling. Family wove tighter. Dad retired to fishing. Mom's pies legendary at tailgates. Tyler and Riley adopted. Twin boys. Rambunctious. Tumbling through our visits like loose balls. Uncle Alex coaches chaos. They chant, tackling my legs. Yet suspense simmered. Life's plot twists unrelenting. Crisis struck sophomore season. Star quarterback, golden-armed phenom named Eli. My protege, all-pro potential cracks post-practice. Coach! He stammers in the empty film room, eyes down. I'm, like you, and the guys on the team. What if? Heart clenched, echoes of my own huddle horrors. Then you're twice the leader. Own it. We strategized, coming out timeline, team buy-in. But leaks spring. Anonymous locker room tweet. QB1's secret playbook. Boys dorm. Backlash erupts. Boosters balk. Media swarms. Scandal 2.0. Boardroom showdown. Suits circling. Demanding bench. Image Harlan. Donors dry up. I stand voice steel. Bench him, you bench progress. This program's heart. Pump it or perish. Jasper flies in, rallying alums via viral sketch. Eli mid-throw, rainbow trail. Throw true, campaign explodes. Field the future trending, petitions flooding. Eli outs publicly, press conference raw. Coach Harlan showed me. Different wins games. Season salvaged. Undefeated run. Eli's Heisman buzz unbroken. Post-championship parade. He hugs me fierce. You changed my game. Romance. Amid tumult. Deepened romantic. Candlelit lofts. Jasper's whispers over wine. You're my MVP. Travels punctuated. Paris residency. Victor a faded footnote. Where he painted sane sunsets. Me calling plays from cafes. Betrayal's final echo. Unexpected source. Old teammate, lineman from Elmwood days. Now booster president. Confesses over scotch. I was the leaker, back then with Tyler. Feared losing my spot if the team went soft. Absolution offered. Own it now. Sponsor the next kid. He does foundation-launched scholarships for LGBTQ plus athletes. Humanistic arc peaks paternal. Our paths cross surrogacy. Jasper's eyes light on ultrasound pics. Mine tearing at kicks. Baby girl arrives spring named Willow after lakeside wildflowers. Nursery murals. Jasper's touch. Footballs orbiting stars. Dad. Grandpa now. Rocks her under stadium lights. Harlan women lead touchdowns. Mom knits booties, Tyler uncles tumbling. Climax softens to legacy. Elmwood induction, me in Hall of Fame. Plaque unveiled amid cheers. Speech. Dragged off once, but rose running. For Jasper, who caught every pass. For you, who cheered the underdog. Derek attends, son beside. Out and proud valedictorian. Handshake awkward, but real. You won, Harlan. No winners in war. Just survivors. Post-ceremony. Beach bonfire redux. Family, friends, Willow gurgling. Jasper pulls me aside, waves sighing. Our story's epic drama. Betrayal, the works. But ending, open field. I kiss him, salt and forever. Ours to run. Years cascade. Willow's first spiral at 5. Lopsided but loved. Eli, pro now. Dedicates rookie TD to Coach Hart. Jasper's museum wing. Tyler's mayoral bid. Pride capital of Ohio. America's canvas. Flawed. Fierce. We paint bold. Gay can tales of love's tackle, humanism's huddle. In the end, no tragic fade, no hollow win. Just us, hand in glove, changing the game, one play, one heart, eternally. The whistle blows. Play on.